After graduation or you leave school, during the grace period on an unsubsidized loan, you will not be held to paying the principal of the loan, but other interest will be charged. Okay, so we said on a subsidized loan, you're not required to pay any interest. So it's not going to charge you any interest during this 6 months. On an unsubsidized loan, they're going to start charging you interest the day after you graduate. And you're not going to be required to pay the principal on either one. You're not required to start paying the principal. If you do not pay the interest on this unsubsidized loan, it will be capitalized. After you leave school, you will be notified of the need of repayment and the date repayment will start. You must begin repayment even if you do not receive the notification. It is your obligation to return the money lent to you. Some of the consequences of defaulting on a loan include, God expects us, God requires us to repay loans. You know, they were nice enough to loan it to us. We need to be responsible enough to pay it back. So we said the grace period is 6 months and it starts the day after graduation or the day after we leave school. There are we talked about subsidized loans, which do not charge interest during the grace period. We talked about unsubsidized loans, which charges interest during the grace period. You're not required to start paying on the principal on either one. God requires us to repay the loans. Okay, we're going to talk about consequences of defaulting on a loan. Okay, consequences for defaults. And it just said that in America, millions of dollars in loans are defaulted every year by students who do not care to repay them. Let's talk about the consequences. Number 1, the default could be reported to national and credit bureaus, and the negative history will stay on your credit report. So it's going to affect your credit reports. Okay? Number 2, your federal and state income tax refunds may be withheld until the debt is satisfied. So your federal and state tax refunds can be withheld. Your lender may declare the entire unpaid balance immediately due and payable, giving no more leeway. Now there's a scary thought. So your loans could be due immediately. They can garnish your wages. Usually that's only in extreme situations, but they can garnish your wages. Number 5, you will not be eligible for additional financial aid until the default is resolved. Not eligible for additional aid until it's resolved. There are certain hardships and situations which will allow you to get a deferment on your loan. Okay, a deferment. A deferment lets you postpone payments on your loan for a time. So this is postpone your loan. If it is a subsidized loan, you will not be charged interest during this deferment time. However, if your loan is unsubsidized, you will be required to pay the interest during the deferment period. Again, if you do not pay the interest on time, it will be capitalized and your amount will start to grow greatly. Okay, there are many different places to look for a college loan. Places to look for college loans. A great place to receive help for college loans is from the Pickett and Hatcher Educational Fund. Okay, so there's the Pickett and Hatcher Educational Fund. Pickett and Hatcher is a nonprofit foundation started in 1938 and dedicated to helping students meet college expenses. There are certain limitations, such as where you live in the U.S., Okay, so the Pickett and Hatcher Educational Fund. Now remember, these are loans. They have to be paid back. You may also apply for a loan from with the free application for federal student aid, known as FAFSA. FAFSA. It is a free and easily accessible to you on the internet. It is located at a U.S. Department of Education website, and you can complete a FAFSA online and submit it via the internet. Okay? So we said consequences for default. It can go on your credit report. Your federal and state tax refunds can be withheld. They can claim your loans due immediately. They can garnish your wages, and you're not eligible for additional aid until you take care of this. Deferment means postponing your loans. Places to look for college loans are Pickett and Hatcher Educational Fund and FAFSA. Okay? Go ahead and study this lesson, study your notes, and answer the questions.